There is a difference between demonic possession and demonic oppression. A child of God that is born of the Spirit of God, that is born again, filled with the Spirit and filled with Christ in him, cannot be possessed by a demon, but they can be oppressed by a demon. So, today I'll start explaining signs to know if I am oppressed by a demon. Number one, if you are actively involved in a sexual sin, how then do I know that there is oppression taking place? The moment you are actively involved, it's a sign that there is an influence from the outside that is trying to convince your inner ability to do something that is not aligned with your assignment, with the will of God, and with what God has called you for. For instance, when you are actively involved in sexual sin, it triggers what we call lust. Now, lust is just a bait, but demonic covenant, it's actually a trap. So now, when you find yourself in this situation, you'll realize that there are now demonic covenants that will begin to function or enter into a place of fruition. The moment demonic covenants are established, that's when you realize that demons now will start having access into you to possess. Why? Because you have made a covenant with certain spirits that are not aligned with God. Number two, how do I know that I am oppressed? If you were abused, if you were molested, if you were raped, or if you were in rejection, these signs, if you are not delivered, if that demon is not casted away from you, the truth of the matter is these things can cause you to be oppressed. Why? Because it brings trauma. Things like rape brings trauma. Things like molestation triggers trauma. Things like abuse or rejection, it triggers trauma. So most of the times you are surrounded by evil spirits that are actually around you to just oppress you, either to kill yourself, either to live life anyhow. It's part of demonic oppression. Number three, they are what we call wrong environment. Now, there are things that you can find yourself doing, for instance, whereby you watch horror movies. For instance, you watch pornographic movies. Things like that, what they do is they cause an oppression over your life. Demonic music, demonic surroundings, wrong influence of friends. This brings a lot of demonic oppression over your life. What you are simply doing is, if you indulge in this, you are feeding what's actually feeding on you. So you're literally feeding what's feeding on you. The more you're watching those things now, those demons start feeding on you, start eating on you. And it can be a danger to your soul or to your spirit. Then the last one, you came from a sinful family. You never broke that case. Now on this part, I want you to pay a close attention. If you came from a family that had witchcraft, you came from a family that operated in perversion, you came from a family that had addictions, the chances of demonic oppression is high. Why? Because if you never broke that case, if you never separated yourself, if you never counseled to say, this is not going to be my portion, the truth of the matter is the oppression will continue. That witchcraft will visit you every time and then. That perversion attitude will still come so that it tries to possess or even to take charge of your operational life. The addictions will take over your life. That's why you see there are many people around the world. You struggle with addiction. You are being addicted to drugs. You are being addicted to sexual perversion. You are being addicted to alcohol. Why? Because there is a family sin. It's something that moved within the family that was never dealt with. Today, I want you to make a decision to look closely to these things and make a decision to be delivered totally from this, so that there won't be a demonic possession over your life. If you allow this to slide, devils, demons will enter in you, and then they'll end up possessing your whole entire being. I pray that this information helps you. See you tomorrow for the next video. God bless you.